the ice fisherman's warning. I'll never forget that day on the frozen lake. The morning air bit at my cheeks, a sharp reminder of the storm that was brewing in Minnesota's skies. Ice fishing was my solace, my escape from the daily grind. Even with a forecast warning of a blizzard, I couldn't resist the pull of the lake's silence and the promise of the catch. I loaded my gear, parked my truck, and trekked across the glassy expanse of the frozen water. The crunch of my boots against the ice the only sound in the frigid stillness. The sky above was an ominous gray, a thick blanket of clouds threatening to suffocate the weak winter sun. The solitude was intoxicating, but it didn't last. As I drilled my fishing hole and set up my tent, I caught sight of him, a man standing eerily still about 50 yards away. He wore no discernible winter gear, just a dark, tattered coat, and his figure seemed to waver, almost blending into the dull landscape. His face was pale, and his eyes seemed impossibly black, like two voids that absorbed all light. "It's not safe today," I called out, my voice breaking the heavy silence. He didn't respond, didn't even flinch. I squinted, trying to make sense of his presence. The air around him seemed heavier, colder, as if the very atmosphere was rejecting him. Then, as if the very air swallowed him whole, he was gone. The spot where he'd stood was empty, as though he'd never been there. My skin prickled despite the layers of clothing, and an unsettling feeling took root in my gut. Shaking it off, I told myself it was just a trick of the light, maybe a shadow cast by the shifting clouds. But the sense of unease only grew stronger. The wind began to pick up, howling like a living thing, and the ice beneath me groaned, a low, mournful sound that made my heart skip. The sound grew louder, more menacing, until it was unmistakable. The ice was cracking. My breath hitched as I felt a sudden, unnatural warmth radiating from the ice below, as if something alive was stirring beneath the frozen surface. Panic surged through me. I grabbed my gear, but there was no time to save everything. The tent was the first to go, collapsing into the icy water with a sickening splash. I scrambled toward the shore, my breath visible in frantic clouds as I ran. Each step felt like a gamble, the ice threatening to give way beneath my weight.